Hello, Dragon Lords. Poseidon here. I'm kind of following up my earlier Fight Pits videos where I kind of previewed what they were about with the information that we had from PG. And since this was the first time we're seeing this event, I thought I'd kind of like give my review on it, my thoughts on it, and just kind of like offer some suggestions. So here's what I'm going to cover in this hopefully short video. I'm going to cover what did work. Okay, I'm going to cover what didn't work, and then kind of like give my final thoughts and things that I might fix for next time. And you guys, please feel free, leave some comments. Let me know what you think. Anything that jumps out that's phenomenal. Hopefully, we can get passed along to PG, and maybe, just maybe, we'll see it in a future iteration of this. Because I gotta believe that what we're seeing right now, or depending on when you're watching this, what we saw with the Fight Pits isn't going to be the final iteration of it, because there was a lot that worked, but there was a lot that didn't work also. So let's start with what worked. So I want to start with the good. Okay, it was a new event. I've only been playing since January, but even the other PvP events were starting to get a little bit stale after a while. So it was nice to see a new event with kind of a really neat concept. I thought the concept was good. Again, from concept to execution, nothing's ever a perfect translation. But I do think that there is a lot of potential here for this event to be one of the better ones. One of the things I noticed that I really liked is, even though strategy did not play as much of a role as I thought it would, there was some strategy that I hadn't anticipated, and that was because you're in your smaller pits with only 6 to 10 teams from your league. Then you guys, well, at least us, we worked with other teams every so often, for a round. Just, hey, let's knock this person down. That's, this team's a little bit too high. Let's not attack each other and just attack them. So I did kind of like that aspect. It was kind of neat. And it wasn't like a permanent alliance throughout the entire event. It was just a temporary thing. I don't know if that was very widespread, if it was just our particular league. All right, so now let's go to what I felt didn't work. Let's start with the elephant in the room, the Mega Coin. Ugh. Probably the biggest thing that I didn't see coming, as far as like how greatly it would kind of like, I don't want to say screw things up, but it really like caused problems with the last 15 minutes. And any of the attacks, for all of it, the only attacks that mattered were the ones that were done in the last 15 minutes. The rest of the time, it was pretty much everyone at least hovering right around the points that you started with. Your starting VP, like for example, if you were in the Coliseum, everyone was within, for the most part, like 198,000 to 201, 202,000. So no giant lead. And even though once in a while where we did see like leads of like 10, 20, 30,000 early in the round, those were gone in the last 15 minutes. And that was all because of mega attacks. So it's like, if I was a team and I ground out for hours to get those points, to get that lead, not using the mega attack, maybe just doing a combination of like supers and regulars, and then here comes in this team that just mega coins for the last like 15 minutes and totally wipes all that work. It was a little frustrating. So I didn't think that the use of the mega coin was a good thing for this. I didn't like that it didn't show the final standing. Like you knew pretty quick whether or not you were moving up or down, but just for my sake, I would have liked to have known where we stood, with where our last attacks got in, because a lot of times, anyone who played this knows that for the most part, the rankings probably didn't change a whole lot the last, for most of the round. But then you get to the last 10, 15 minutes, and boy, it was just like musical chairs with whoever was in first. I think they should clarify the length of the rounds were actually closer to like 5 hours and 45 minutes. Because a lot of people thought it was 6 hours, and when they were trying to time out that showing up for the last 15 minutes, they got on just in time to find out that the round was over. So in order to make this consistent, I think saying that each round lasts a total of 6 hours, but that 6 hours consists of 5 hours and 45 minutes of actual attacking, and then 15 minutes of calculating. So kind of like a built-in break, so to speak. I think that'd be good. And it would also allow you, like if they wanted to slip something in where you could see where you stood in the previous round, that'd be awesome. I also noticed that the time left, well, I didn't notice. I saw that other people were saying that the time left in the round and the energy refill, and like basically those timers weren't quite synced. So assuming that is the case, that's something that should probably be fixed. And then one thing, I loved the team plan box. I thought it was fantastic. However, I think it just needs to just stay, okay? Because I guess you have to click on it to get it to show, and I think it should just be static. I don't think it should go anywhere at all. It should just stay there. Your teammates should have to look at it. Again, that's just my thoughts. As far as like things I'd fix, my final thoughts on the event: remove the best case scenario, just remove the Mega Coin. I realize that probably won't happen. So when me and some of the other Creators Faction members were in PG's offices, we did kind of like this pen and paper dice version play test of the fight pits, and it was actually a lot of fun. I don't want to go into like the big description of it here, but essentially you could mega attack, but each player only had 5 mega attacks, and this is just an example, but they only had 5 mega attacks that we could use for the entire game. And I think that would be a great solution. So if you're a team that wants to save all yours for the end, great, but you still only get a certain amount, regardless of whether you spread them out, whether you use them in the beginning or you use them in the end. I think limiting them to a certain number per player would be ideal. That's probably a good compromise. It keeps them in the game, but I think it makes the rounds a little bit more fair. It's not about who can, mega coin the most in the shortest amount of time. Again, that's just my thoughts. Maybe someone else out there has another idea. Please share it. Obviously, I mentioned the timer sync. Please just make sure those things are synced. And then like a set break in between rounds for calculations would be great. And again, like I mentioned, show us the standings, and then force the team plan box to remain open. All in all, I really did enjoy this event. I loved how there was that sense of like it wasn't just this crazy, chaotic fight everyone that Tug of War is. But I did definitely understand the similarities. I like the fact that you had a more narrow focus. I like the concept of the event, and I think it has a lot of potential. I know a lot of people didn't like it, and I honestly think it's because of the Mega Coin. It's not going anywhere overall. It's not like they're going to remove it from the game, as much as so many people would love to see that happen. I think it's here to stay. So it's a matter of how do we figure out a compromise? Because you can complain about it all you want, and you can complain about this and complain about that, but the best thing you can do is say, here's what I think is broken. Here's my suggestion for fixing it. If all you do is go on the forums and say, I hate this, I hate this, I hate that, they're probably not going to listen. If you go on there and say, I don't like this, this is why I don't like it, and here's my solution, potential solution, for how it could be fixed, I guarantee you they are going to be a lot more apt to listen to what you have to say. Again, not saying it's a guarantee it's going to happen, but the likelihood of it happening are so much higher, so much higher. Anyway, that's all I have to say about it. Again, if you ever want to catch up on my Woe Dragons comics, I'm going to be putting one out, and oddly enough, about the fight pits. I'll be posting that on my blog on wardragons.info/Poseidon. Goes there first, goes to Twitter next. Please follow me on both places. Follow War Dragons Game for anything up to date. You can always check with me or any of the other Creators Faction members, or you can go to www.wardragons.com. Thanks for watching, guys. You have a good one.